The Mexica, as they call themselves, or the Aztecs as we call them now, were a proud and cunning people who made their home within modern-day Mexico. Although they are one, if not the most easily recognized native people of ancient Mesoamerica, they did not actually originate from there, but instead came far from the north. According to Aztec legend, the Mexica were the last tribe to leave the mystical cave of Chico Mostoc. Located in the fabled land of Aztlan, it was believed that the original 7 tribes of Mexico originated from this cave one by one. Today, scholars believe this land might have been located in the southwestern region of the modern-day United States. For over 100 years, the Aztecs roamed modern-day Mexico, steadily making their way south. According to their legends, their patron god Huitzilopochtli had instructed them to head south in search of their new home. They were specifically instructed to search for an eagle perching on a cactus in the middle of a lake with a snake in its beak. Around the year 1248 AD, they came across such an event and decided to build their home upon an island in the middle of Lake Texcoco. The city would become the great Aztec capital of Tenochtitlan. According to them, Tenochtitlan was the center of the universe, although this was likely political strategy to unite the people. Aztecs, like most ancient people of Mesoamerica, religiously practiced human sacrifice, specifically heart sacrifice. This event took place upon an altar at the very top of their pyramids or ziggurats. Once the still living and conscious chosen/victim was placed upon the altar, a priest would cut into their chest with an obsidian knife and remove their heart. While today this practice is considered barbaric or even horrific, it was actually met with cheer. Most chosen/victims actually went willingly, as it was not only considered a great honor, but also necessary in order to maintain balance in the world. To understand why heart sacrifice became so essential, one must first understand the Aztec creation story. The legend of the 5 sons is arguably the most important story within Aztec culture. Not only does it provide explanation for the practices of Aztec religion, but it also demonstrates the Aztec worldview. This legend establishes some of the major deities of Aztec belief, along with how the world was finally created after multiple attempts. Originally, the universe was a void. At some point, the dual god Ometecutli/Omesihuaro came into being. This primal being was representative of every duality conceivable. Because of this, it was both male and female, and so it was able to birth the original gods. Of these gods, the 2 major ones were Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca. They created the oceans, other gods, and a horrible sea monster known as Cipactli. The monster would devour other creations that fell into the ocean. Because of this, the gods decided to kill it. From the monster's body, the gods created the world. Its head became the 13 heavens, its tail the 9 underworlds, and its body the earthly plane. With the world created, giants were made to inhabit it. Yet an energy source was needed. Tezcatlipoca was chosen to be the sun. However, he only shone half as bright. Unwilling to give up his position, Tezcatlipoca fought with Quetzalcoatl and was knocked out of the sky. In his anger, he sent jaguars to destroy the world and the giants. Quetzalcoatl took over as the 2nd son. At this point, normal-sized humans were created. However, they became corrupt and were seen as unfit to inhabit the world. So partially out of revenge, Tezcatlipoca turned them into monkeys. Quetzalcoatl became furious at this, and so he created a massive hurricane that blew away the world and the monkeys. Now, Tlaloc, the god of rain, was chosen to be the 3rd son. Everything was fine until Tezcatlipoca seduced his wife, Xochiquetzal. In his grief, he refused to send rain to the recreated humans. So in their drought, they continued to plead for rain, and so finally, Tlaloc grew tired of their pleas, and in a rage sent a rain of fire that destroyed everything once again. The gods gave life to the world again, and Chalcitlicu, the goddess of water, was chosen to be the 4th son. In their infighting, however, Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca knocked her out of the sky. This caused the sky to open up, and from it a flood came that drowned the world. During this, Quetzalcoatl stole the bones of humanity from the underworld to create them one last time. The gods gathered and recreated humanity. A proud and wealthy god named Tecutzitztecatl offered himself to be the sun, but the gods preferred a humble god named Nanahuatzin. Instead of simply crowning a new sun, the gods decided that the new and final sun would be earned through a sacrifice, and so a great sacrificial fire was built for this event. Tecutzitztecatl attempted to jump in multiple times, but was too cowardly to do so. Instead, the brave Nanahuatzin dove in first and rose to be the new sun. Out of jealousy, Tecutzitztecatl jumped in right after him and rose to be the sun as well. Having two suns in the sky, the world became too hot, so the gods threw a rabbit at the second sun to dim its light. Now, Kusisakato became the moon, and Nanahuatzin became the sun. The problem now was that Nanahuatzin was too weak, and so he could not move across the sky. To remedy this, the gods sacrificed themselves, giving up their physical forms and giving the sun their blood, so that it would have the energy to rush across the sky and provide light for the world. Now the sun was moving along the sky, but a new problem was presented. The sun would need a steady supply of fuel to keep moving across the sky. If it did not receive the necessary blood that would allow it to move, then Tezcatlipoca or Tecosistecado might attempt to bring it down, or it might not have the energy to give off light, thus falling into darkness. This is where Huitzilopochtli comes in, the patron god of the Aztecs and the warrior of the sun. Huitzilopochtli was tasked with fending off the darkness and helping the sun move across the sky. Those who were sacrificed to the sun would not only fuel it, but be sent to fight alongside Huitzilopochtli in an attempt to stave off the darkness for just a little longer. For this reason, being sacrificed to the sun was as honorable as it was necessary. To the victim, it meant fighting alongside their god and aiding the sun so that it could bring light and nourishment to their people. Although the Aztecs knew that the world would eventually return to darkness, they continued to fight for every precious ray of sunlight, no matter how futile it might be. From their stories and their history, we can understand that the Aztecs valued tomorrow above all else. They were survivors at heart and demonstrated this tenacity through their actions and beliefs. To the Aztecs, all that mattered is that the sun would rise tomorrow and that their people would live to see another day. To them, survival was the very meaning of life itself.